Hi, everyone, and welcome to our new Chair Yoga online session. So here we are back again online. So unfortunately, we have to take a little break from our in-person classes until the current restrictions are lifted. Um, Better safe than sorry. So let's just make sure we all stay safe. But good news is we're at home, so that means we can use all the props that we want for our practice. And for today's practice, you will need something like a belt. So those of you who have been coming to class for a while, we use these yoga belts. But if you're at home, you can use any length of fabrics. You can grab a dressing gown belt, works very well, a long scarf, an actual belt, yeah, or anything else that's sort of like a nice length in terms of space. And we're going to use that for a little bit of shoulder mobilization exercise. So if you haven't got that handy next to you, which probably you haven't, just quickly pause the video, go and grab your belt, and then come back and resume. If you have got your belt, you can pop it to the side or maybe let it hang off the side of your chair so you have it nicely at hand. Make sure you've got some water near you. Make sure your feet are comfortable. So I've got a little blanket under my feet so my feet are not getting cold. I hate cold feet. And then allow yourself to come into a comfortable seated position. So just make sure that your lower back feels supported, that there's no little twinges, that there's no draft, no noise, just creating just a little moment of calm for our little session together. And then let's get nice and comfortable, push the feet away from the body, and then allow yourself to settle into stillness. Bringing the palms facing upwards on your thighs. Take a couple of moves here through the body from side to side. Let the head gently sway, and then allow your eyes to close. Swallow a couple of times so we can soften our jaw. And then take a slow breath in. And a gentle sigh out. Long breath in. And sigh out. One more inhale. And exhale. And on that exhale, let yourself get really heavy. And for a moment, allow yourself to feel any emotions or feelings that are present inside of you. It's been a bit of a crazy week, lots of changes. Yet again, here we are not being able to practice in person. But a yoga practice is not linked to a space. It's not linked to being in the room with the same people. Even though that's nice, our yoga practice are these techniques, these movements, these breathing techniques that we use to allow the mind to calm, to finding some moments of stillness where we can allow the chatter that is constant in our brains to slow down so we can come back to the present moment. And finding a little bit more peace, a little bit more lightness in our body, but also in our minds. So any ambitions that you have for the next half an hour that we have together practicing, let them go. You're here, you've taken this time, you have dedicated it to yourself. Notice if there's any tension in the body. Notice if you're holding tension in your belly, your jaw, your shoulders. Notice if there's tension, maybe in the neck, or maybe in the thighs. Let them sink down, let them get squishy. And give yourself a little scan to notice any areas of tension, tightness, or discomfort. Any areas that might need a little bit of looking after today. So each one of us works with our own bodies as they are right now. So any postures, any movements that I suggest are just that, a suggestion. So if anything that I offer doesn't work for you, let it go. Don't bring more discomfort to the body. That's not what yoga is about. Yoga is about doing more of what feels good in the body to create space and just leaving anything to the side that doesn't work for us. Okay, let's take a long breath in through the nose and a gentle breath out. And then allow the awareness to settle in on your breath, the most important tool that we have in our yoga practice. And just observe your breathing here for a few moments without the need to change, without the need to speed it up in any way or to control it. Noticing how the breath feels right in this moment. Is it fast? Is it slow? Does it feel shallow or deep? And finally, noticing the movements. Noticing the gentle rise in the belly as you inhale. And that sensation of softening, of settling down as you exhale. Follow that with your mind for a few more rounds. And if you notice that your mind is getting distracted, thinking ahead of the next cup of tea or lunch or shopping lists or worries, then notice that and then bring the awareness back. And then slowly, slowly take a few deeper breaths and invite a gentle move through the fingers and the toes, little wriggles to begin with. Being quite curious about the movements. How do your hands and toes feel right now? Do they feel warm, cold? Is there a sense of tingling? Getting really curious, make the movement bigger. Bring a little rotation for your wrists, for your ankles. And then on the next inhale, we stretch the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Find a big, long stretch. Maybe there's a yawn that wants to escape. Let it out. That just means your body needs a bit more oxygen. And as you exhale, begin to rotate at the wrist and then slowly, slowly rotating your hands down into your lap. Okay, let's do that again. Inhaling, reach the fingertips as high as you can. And then rotating through the wrists. And lower the hands down. Good. And if you want to, you can shuffle yourself away from your chair into a little bit more an active position. So I'm just going to turn sideways, you can see. If you want a little bit more for your core, for your center, shuffle yourself forwards towards the edge of your chair without sliding off. Roll the shoulders back and down, hands onto the knees, draw the lower belly in, find a slight sense of engagement. And if any of that creates any discomfort in your lower back, come and sit back. Use the back of the chair as support. Take your gaze down towards your toes, spread them wide. The feet are underneath the knees here. Engaging through the center, so finding a lift through the core. Imagine there's a string attached to the crown of the head that's gently drawing you up towards the ceiling. So there's a sense of effort involved in keeping this posture. Let's see if we can maintain this. I'm going to remind you throughout the practice. Good. Release the arms by the side. And then on the next inhale, we're going to reach the arms high. Being mindful of your shoulders, they might not be ready for such big movements. Exhale to lower. Release the arms, inhaling, growing tall. Exhale, draw the palms down. Good, one more time, inhaling, reaching, growing. Exhale, release the arms. Bring the hands into the knees. Let's flow through cat and cow. Inhale, draw the chest forward, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, rounding the spine. Good, let's do a few more. Turning sideways so you can follow me. Inhale, draw the chest forward, lifting the heart. Exhale to round. Feel free to close your eyes here. We're just mobilizing into the spine, and this might be a big movement for you. It might be a small movement. Don't worry. Whatever works for you here. Good, we're going to do two more. And then the last one, draw yourself forward, lifting. Exhale to release. Roll the shoulders up, back and down, and let's float into a couple of side stretches. Keep the left hand onto the knee, inhaling, the right arm reaches above the head. It's probably going to get, my fingertips get cut off here by the video, but don't worry about that. Inhaling to reach, exhaling, sink over towards the left. Inhaling, reaching. Exhale, sinking over to the left. Keep your right sitting bone grounded down. So we don't want to roll off the chair here, keeping it grounded. Inhaling back to center one more time. Exhale, sink it over. Inhaling to center and then exhale, swapping sides. So bring the right arm down. The left arm reaches above the head. Grow tall as you inhale. Exhale as you sink over. Inhale to center. Exhale as you sink over. Good. Follow your breath. Inhaling. And exhale. Good. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, release the arms. And then we're going to draw the shoulders up to the ears and squeeze and hold as high as you can for 3, 2, 1, and then drop it with a sigh. Because we're at home, we can sigh as loud as we want to. Nobody can hear. 2 more. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, and sigh. Good. 1 more. Draw them up. Any frustrations, anxiety, stress that you're feeling right now, breathe it in. Squeeze it up into your shoulders. And then release. And give your head a little shake from side to side. It's a beautiful day today. As I'm recording this, we've got light streaming in through all the windows. Now, when you watch this tomorrow, the weather forecast is not quite so good. So hopefully I'm sending you a little bit of sunshine here through the camera. Good. Lovely. Now let's grab our belts. So dressing gown belt, piece of fabric, anything that you want to use here. And we're going to do a little bit more for our shoulders here. We're going to do a little bit of strengthening, and then we're going to mobilize. Now, the shoulders are the most mobile joint in the body. And because of that, they are so prone to injury. And if that is you today, if your shoulders don't feel great, take it super easy. And if it doesn't work, let it go. Good. They're going to start with a little strengthening exercise. So grab your belt, bring it about a hip width apart, and then grab hold of the belt and bring the elbows back into the body. So I'm going to move sideways, hugging the elbows into the body. Now, like imagine we're trying to rip this piece of string or fabric that you're using apart. We're going to take an inhale, and with the exhale, squeeze and pull it apart, feeling how here the muscles around the chest, the arms switch on. Inhaling again. Exhale, pull a little bit more. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze and pull. Good. Last time. This is getting quite strong. Exhale, squeeze and pull 1 more time. And then release the arms, soften, give the hands a little shake, and let the arms rest down. Let all that effort drain away. And so we're activating onto the muscles around the arms, the shoulders here, bringing a little bit of heat, a little bit of fresh blood flow to the muscles. See how that feels. If that felt okay, you can repeat it. If this felt absolutely awful, then leave it. Watch us for the next part of the exercise. If you want a little bit more, we can go a little bit further. So if you want a little bit more, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. We can bring the arms out in front. Check that we're not collapsing into the lower back as we do this. So we're still sitting up nice and straight. We're not hollowing the spine either. We're sitting in a nice neutral position. Take an inhale, and with the exhale, pull the arms. Good. Feeling the stretch running down the arms a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale, pull a little bit more. Good. 2 more. Give it a good squeeze and pull. Last time, inhale. Exhale to pull. And then release the arms and release those fingertips. Let them go. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. And give your head a little shimmy from side to side. Good. Beautiful. Now, one last part. If you want to take it even further, let's go crazy. After all, it's Wednesday. So we can take this a step further only if the first 2 exercises felt good for you. If not, choose maybe the first option, choose the second option, or maybe just take a break. If you want a little bit more, we're going to take the belt and then float the arms up above the head as high as you can. So for me, just about feels okay to come till here. Then I can find a sense of pinching here. And we're going to do the same thing, taking an inhale. And then exhale, pulling the arms apart, and feel how the muscles to the inside of the arms, the armpits, switch on. Inhale. Exhale to pull. Good. You can lower the arms if it's too strong. 2 more. Inhale. Good. Ripping that piece of string apart, putting all frustrations into that movement. Last time. Exhale, pulling. And then release the arms. Let it go. Good. Bring the arms forward. It's going to open and close the fingers a few times, bringing a little bit of space into the wrists. And then let's rotate out those wrists. Bring the forearms together. Palms, either the hands interlace or just hold on to your palms in a sort of half prayer position here, and then begin to move through the wrists. So you can do this with the fingers interlaced or the fingers open, just to release a little bit through the wrists, letting that go. Change direction, go the other way. And the other way feels probably really weird. It does for me. Good. And then shake it out, let it go. Well done. pop the belt to the side. We don't need it anymore for today. Yeah, or maybe we will. No, I think we're done for today. And let's find a little release through the lower back, coming into a forward fold. So I'm moving again sideways so you can watch. Come, bring the forearms onto the knees, and then allow your spine to round. So the tailbone to tuck, the chin rolls towards the chest. And feeling that there's a sense of release through the lower back as you do this. If you want a little bit more, you can even walk your hands down in between the legs and bring them down to the floor, letting the head hang really heavily. Feeling a sense of space being created between your shoulder blades. Good. Hold it there for a couple more breaths, letting the lower back release. And if you want an extra bit of lower back release, you can bring one hand onto the lower back and with your knuckles begin to rub up and down by the side of the spine. This is quite a nice little release if that works for you. Good. And then slowly, slowly walk your hands back up the legs, bring the feet hip distance apart and roll the shoulders up, back and down. Good. Draw the lower belly in. We're still sitting up nice and straight. Let's come into a twist before we go further, just so we can really release any tension here that we have in the spine. Let's move into our twist. And the important thing about twists is to really follow your body. If they don't feel good, if they make you feel in any way uncomfortable, there's a sense of pinching in the lower back, just let it go, leave it. Good. If not, take your left leg, cross it in front of the right. Option 1. Option 2, take your left knee and cross it on top of the right knee. Option 2, but this is getting a bit stronger in the hips, so don't overdo it. Option 3, if your hips, your knees are happy today, you can bring the ankle on top of the knee and allow the knee to fall out to the side. This is creating quite a strong stretch here, the hip flexors, the hip rotators. So give yourself, see which option works for you. I'm going to go for option 2 today. Then take your right hand over onto the left knee, the left arm behind you. Lengthen the spine, grow tall. And on the exhale, you're going to begin to rotate over towards the left. So draw the left shoulder back behind you and allow the gaze to follow. Keep both sitting bones grounded and draw the belly, lower belly back to the spine. Inhaling, reaching, growing a bit taller. And then exhale to rotate. Good. 2 more. Inhaling, reach and grow. Exhaling, rotating a little bit more. Last time, inhale, reaching, growing. Exhale to rotate. And then come back to center. Float your arms up into a cactus shape, like cactus, cacti in the desert. We keep having this conversation. I think it's cacti in the desert, plural of cactus. And then float your arms onto the other side. So an active counter stretch. Come back to center, uncross your feet and swap sides. So bring your right leg on top of the left or find your variation. So cross the left leg in front of the, cross your right leg in front of the left. Got my lefts and rights wrong. Taking the right knee on top of the left or bringing the ankle on top of the knee. Again, being very mindful here of hips and knees. I'm going for option 2. Then take your left hand onto the outside edge of the right knee. Right arm behind you, lift and lengthen, grow tall. Exhale to twist. So draw the right shoulder back behind you, allow the gaze to follow. Lower belly draws in, we lengthen, we're growing tall. And on the exhale, we twist just a little bit more. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last breath in. And slow breath out. Good, release. Come back to center, floating your arms back up into the cactus shape and then moving your wrists the other way. Coming back to center and release. Bring both feet onto the floor. Let's begin to walk out the feet. So we're going for a little walk just where we are, warming up through the feet. We're going to spend just a little bit of time today working on our legs before we bring everything together with our sun salutations. So walking out the feet and then keep walking here for a few more times. And while we're walking, let me see what I can tell you about it. So in case you haven't seen this space here, this is my yoga studio, Blackheath Yoga. We are located just on Tranquil Vale, so across the road from Boulangerie Jade. So next time you're there, just take a peek up across the road. That's where we are. It's a beautiful room. There's some skylight straight above you here. Lots of daylight coming in through the window. So yeah, it's a pleasure to record our little sessions from here. So we're still walking. In case you've forgotten, in case you think I've forgotten about you, no, I'm still doing it. And this becomes a little bit of effort, and that's okay. We want to activate those calf muscles. So maybe you have gone for a walk today. Maybe you had the chance to bring some blood into those calf muscles, or maybe you haven't. But it can't hurt to do it a little bit more. Good. And then lower down, lower both heels down. Spread the toes wide and ground them down into the mat one at a time so your feet are really active. Roll the shoulders up and back. Grab hold of your left leg from behind. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, extend the leg forwards. Flex the toes back. Then point the toes and flex the toes. Good. Let's do this a few more times. Pointing and flexing. Good. And if you started to do this, rounding, leaning back, draw yourself back up here. Even if that means your leg can't be quite so high, that's okay. Good. Few more rounds and then begin to rotate. So drawing circles. Nice and slow, going one way, change direction, going the other way. Good. And then draw the knee into the body. Hold it there, or maybe if you need a little pit stop, lower the leg for a moment. Hug the knee into the chest a bit more, sitting up nice and straight. And as you exhale, extend the leg out long. And this time we're going to hold. Good. Flex the toes back towards the face. Notice that we really have to draw up here for the front of the leg. If you want to test your strength, maybe taking the fingertips away from the leg for a moment, but this is quite strong, so maybe place them back again so we don't collapse into the lower back. Good. Hold it here for one more breath. And then exhale, hug the leg in. And then release it out. Give your thigh a little squeeze. And then swapping sides, grab hold of your opposite leg from behind. Come onto the toes. Engage with the center. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to extend the leg forward. And remember, you can just keep the leg resting on the floor as well if lifting it is not good for you today. Good. So extend it high, pointing and flexing, flowing with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Feel the stretch across the front of the leg and the back of the leg. And then draw some circles, sitting up nice and straight. Change direction, go the other way. Good, lovely. And then bring the knee in for a moment, maybe lower it, give it a squeeze if it's getting a bit strong. Change it, taking the opportunity to sitting up nice and straight. Extend the leg out long. And then we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Really draw up through that right kneecap. Feeling the strength. Maybe there's a little shiver in the leg. There is in mine. You're going to take another 2 breaths, maybe challenging yourself, taking the hands away for a moment. Maybe not. I don't think that's for me today. Last inhale. And exhale, hug the knee in and then release it down. Give your leg a squeeze. Let that go. Lovely. And then bring the palms onto the knees. Close your eyes for a moment and let all that effort settle. Finding a few moments to slowing the breath down again. Maybe noticing that your heart might be beating a little bit faster. There's a sense of tingling through the body. A sense of feeling a little bit more awake. Just generally feeling a little bit more alive. That's the magic of movement. And to keep our mobility, to keep the body in check, we need to move our body. We need to move all the joints every day. Almost like a machine that needs some greasing through the joints. Yeah, take a slow inhale. And a sigh out. And then join me for a round of sun salutations. Blink the eyes open, release the arms. Inhaling, reach the arms high, lifting the gaze. Exhale, draw the palms down. Inhaling, reaching, growing. Exhale, draw them down. I'm going to do that one more time. Feel free to close your eyes if you know the sequence. Inhale to reach. Exhale to lower. Release your hands onto the knees. Into cat and cow. Inhale, draw your chest forward, lift the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, draw yourself forward once more. And then exhale, fold forwards and down. Release your hands, forearms onto the knees. Maybe bring the hands all the way to the floor. Your choice. Take an extra breath in here. And then a slow breath out. Let's find a twist. Inhaling, bring the right fingertips up to the ceiling, or maybe just onto the shin for a little half twist. So 2 options. Exhale to lower. Inhaling, floating the opposite fingertips up towards the sky. Exhaling, lowering. Inhale, walk your hands up the knees. Draw the chest forward, open the heart. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Release the fingertips. Inhaling, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, draw them down. Allow the eyes to close as you release your hands onto your lap, palms facing upwards. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhaling and exhale. Inhaling again and exhale. And a final breath here. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to slowly slide back on your chair so we can settle back into the support of the chair behind you. Pushing the feet slightly away from the body so the thighs can sink down, the palms face upwards, soften the belly. Swallow a couple of times and allow your eyes to close again. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Inhaling again. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. And on that exhalation, let yourself get heavy. Allow your belly to soften. And allow yourself to sink down. And before we're settling into our relaxation, we're going to take a round of pranayama together. Pranayama means breath control. So it's an exercise that we do with our breathing. Now, if it does make you feel in any way uncomfortable around the chest, then just let go of my count and breathe in your own way. Let's start by taking a slow breath in together and a slow breath out. Closing the mouth, inhaling, and exhale through the nose. Now let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. Take another 2 in your own time. And then let go of the count. And allow yourself to be present here for a moment. Present with any thoughts that are jumping around. Present with any sensations in your body. Letting go of any need to control the breath now. And allow the awareness to sink down into the sole of the right foot. Releasing the top of the right foot, right toes, ankles, lower leg, right knee, right upper leg, and the right side of the hip. Releasing the sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left toes, ankle, lower leg, left knee, left upper leg, and left side of the hip. Softening the belly, softening through the pelvic floor, releasing the lower back, middle back, upper back, into the right shoulder, right upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the left hand, right hand, palm of the right hand, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Allowing the whole right side of the body to be heavy. Moving across the chest into the left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the left hand, palm of the left hand, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Releasing all the way up the neck, softening the throat. Release the jaw, tongue, cheeks, nose, eyes, forehead, and the whole crown of the head. And for the next few moments, allow yourself to rest here without the need to do anything else or be anywhere else. And if the mind should choose to wander, which it probably will, notice when it happens and then bring the awareness back without any judgment, letting yourself rest back in the present moment. And very slowly, without moving at first, become aware of the sounds around you if you can notice any. Maybe my voice, or maybe there are sounds in the space where you're at, inside the room, outside of the room. And then slowly beginning to deepen your breath. Begin to bring some wriggles into your fingers and your toes. Allow the head to roll from side to side. Swallowing a couple of times, and on your next inhale, take the fingertips up towards the sky. Find a stretch all the way to the fingertips, waking up the body, ready for a beautiful day ahead of you, even if it's raining outside. It's still a beautiful day. And then allow the palms to lower together in front of Heart Center Anjali Mudra. Our hand gesture that represents kindness and compassion towards each other, but also towards ourselves. Take a moment to honor your effort of taking this time out in your day to practice. Let's honor that, our bodies and each other. Gently bow the head towards the hands. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you very much, my online chair yogis. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys are doing well. Now, this won't be forever, I promise. Just in the meantime, we're going to keep recording our weekly chair yoga sessions. Don't forget, we've got a whole library of chair yoga sessions. You can do one a day. You can do two a day if you're feeling a bit adventurous. So just look at the link that I'm sending you in the email so you can find all the details there. Now, let me think. There was some news, some updates. Oh, it's Anita's 80th birthday. So Anita from our Chair Yoga group. So happy birthday. We're going to sing happy birthday to you once we can meet again safely together. And it's also on Wednesday, it's Charlotte's. Charlotte's from our second Chair Yoga group. It's her hip replacement surgery. So Charlotte, we're thinking of you. And hopefully Charlotte can join us again then soon with her beautifully repaired hip. In other news, I have heard the owl again. So those of you who are new, we've been comparing notes on all the birds we've been able to hear and see. And the Blackheath owl has been back in my back garden or near my back garden, which is nice. So that gives me a sense of security to know that the owl is fine. Good. So anyway, I hope you're well, and I will see you again next week for another chair yoga session. Bye bye.